Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica if you haven't been here before, and today I'm doing Australia updates. So I'll be going through things you should know before moving to Australia. Is it expensive? How to get a job? Where to find accommodation? How to make friends? What my life has been like since moving here, as I've been living here now 4 months. My opinions about it, if I like it, if I don't like it, and then all the shebangs. So make sure to like and subscribe and hit that down bell button so you do not miss any more videos of mine. Okay, so we're gonna do a massive update as I get ready, because this is morning, Sunday, and I am going to the beach because it's a beautiful day to go to the beach. Why are we not going to the beach? So, some of you might know, I moved to Australia 4 months ago now. 4 months? Yeah, 4 months ago. Me and my sister. So I didn't come alone. Me and my sister came in June. Literally the first week of June we arrived here. Wasn't the smartest idea to come in June, only because I didn't realise there's a such thing. I know this sounds really dumb, but I didn't realise there was such thing as winter here. So we came from UK winter to Australia winter, and it was a dumb move, but we did also move to the Gold Coast. So Gold Coast is in Queensland. It doesn't really get that cold. So it wasn't cold, but there was obviously windier, colder days than usual. So it got dark, and it got dark a lot earlier as well. So I'm gonna start off with what you need to know before coming to Australia if you're interested in coming to Australia. How I came here and how I've done it. I came to Australia on a working holiday visa. That is a 417 visa. I have the accessibility of coming in and out of Australia for a full year, and I can also work with the country, like within the country, but I can only work up to 6 months in each employment, because the whole point of the visa is to support myself during a holiday. I want to state off that my visa cost £280, it was $500 Australian dollars, which is £280, and that for me and my sister, it legit took less than a minute to get approved. All you have to do, I personally did it through the government website. I didn't get anyone to do it for me, because there's like companies that will be like, oh, basically scammers, but I did it myself. I went on the government Australian website, I applied for it. All you have to do is show bank statements, which is you need a minimum of 2,000, I believe it's like 2,500 or 2,700 pounds, British pounds, because you need 5,000 Australian dollars in your bank account, and all you do is legit screenshot your bank account and insert that in the file, your passport details, if you've got any medical bill, like any medical history or shebangs, that. And I think that was it. I also added stuff like recent employment stuff, like my pay slip. Not that it was actually needed whatsoever. Obviously, if you don't have all the statements or all the documents that you need in that moment, it will take longer for your visa to approve. But I don't think it takes longer than like 3 weeks, and honestly, but don't quote me on that. That's my experience. It literally was so fast. So, as I've done the base of what visa I came on, I'm now going to go through what you need to know before to move into Australia. 1, figure out what visa you want to go on. Obviously, I came on a working holiday visa because I wanted to travel. I do want to travel. So I want to travel Asia and Asia and Australia. And I saw a lot of people on TikTok going on a working holiday visa. So that's what I did. If you don't know already, if you're a UK citizen, you don't need to do the 88 day farm work, which is basically if you wanted to get a second visa, you needed to do 88 days of farm work to get approved for your second visa, but we don't have to do that anymore. 2, figure out if you want to travel before settling or after. For example, I know so many people that travelled Asia a bit and then came to Australia, travelled to Australia or like the East Coast or wherever they travelled, and then decided where they wanted to stay for a bit and start work. I did the complete opposite. I came here and I started working. Well, the first month I didn't work, but I essentially literally started working straight away because my plan was to stay here and then go travelling before my year was up. So that's one. Figure out what you want to do. If you do want to travel, a lot of people ask me, how much money do you need before coming to Australia? It really depends on you. I personally brought £2,500. That lasted me around like a month and a half. That was, I had to pay my deposit for the house that I moved into, and that covered my rent, food, and a bit of outings. But Australia is expensive when you don't know the place. Does that make sense? So obviously, if you've never gone to the place before, like I've never went to Australia before, so I wouldn't have known where to go out to eat or for groceries. Like I just went to the one that I saw first. So if that was the most expensive one, I wouldn't have known. So I was spending quite a lot of money because of that. That moves me on to the next question. A lot of people ask me, is Australia expensive? No. At first I thought it was. I honestly thought, oh my gosh, Australia's like the most expensive place, but like it really isn't. Like my accommodation is so much cheaper than it is in London. Like a lot cheaper. To be fair, I am house sharing it, but like I don't know, compared to London rates at the moment are ridiculously high. People pay usually around $250 to $300 a week for the rent. I don't know, sometimes it includes bills, sometimes it doesn't. It really just depends on your location. Obviously, that's like, I would say, that average. The pound at the moment is double, I think. So $1 is £2. So 250, so $400, let's say, is £150 a week, depending if it includes bills or not. So in that sense, rent's not expensive. Groceries. So I found that shopping in supermarkets for like your basics, rice, pasta, sauces, seasoning, fine. Actually fairly affordable, like it's affordable, it's not expensive, right? Whereas fruit and veg, oh my gosh, it like goes up by a lot. I don't know why, but someone texted me a hack, not even a hack, but someone said, if you want to buy meat, go to a butcher's. But I've never actually gone to a butcher's, but I just don't buy enough meat to be going to a butcher's, if that makes sense. Whereas fruit and veg, there's a couple of fruit and veg stores, pop-ups, like everywhere in the Gold. Well, I can't say everywhere in the Gold Coast, everywhere in Australia, because I only live in the Gold Coast. You go there, fruit, very cheap, veg, very cheap. So I usually buy like my fruit and veg from there because it's just super affordable. I've literally got no more sunscreen. I'm really straight now. Okay. If you really want to do cheap, there's an Aldi here. So that's like the cheapest supermarket, I believe. And like the most, I think, and then the second one is Woolies. Woolworths, but everyone abbreviates it to Woolies. And then you got Coles, I would say is the most common one. I would compare Coles to Tesco's. Yeah. That's how I would compare it. So in the sense, that's like 50-50. Like it can be cheap, but it can be really expensive too. Going out. My friend, I only compare this to the London, by the way. All prices are compared to London. I know that when I've gone out in London, shots are just ridiculously expensive. I went out last night and all the shots were, I don't know how much the shots was, but I know, like I say, a vodka and cranberry juice, double shot vodka and cranberry juice was only $9.50, which is, what is that? $4.75? Is that quick maths? Is that good maths? I don't know. Whatever it is. Is it expensive? I'm sorry, you will never ever get that on a night out in London. Like, impossible. Going out, food-wise, me and my sister averagely spend, let's say, whatever, like maybe a drink and a meal, $30, which is £15. I'm sorry, I don't think you get that in London anymore. So like, fairly cheap again. Anyways, I'm gonna like wrap that question up. So I do think Australia is so much cheaper than the UK, but currently the UK is like really expensive anyway. But no, it is a fairly cheap country. Other things you need to know. So, accommodation. With me, I love planning. That's me as a person though. I do love planning, and I wanted everything to be done for when we got out there. I don't know Australia, nor did I ever, like, I've never been here before, so I would not have known where to go. But I know that I wanted to go to Gold Coast. I really don't know why. I just remember seeing it somewhere, and I was just like, right, we're going Gold Coast. That was literally my thought process. I didn't think much of it. I remember thinking I didn't want to go to Sydney because I remember loads of people on TikTok, because TikTok was my best friend, by the way. I literally researched everything through TikTok. That's how I got this far. But I've seen loads of videos saying that everyone had there was like a housing crisis in Sydney, and I was like, I don't really want to go there and then not be able to find a place, because of what a lot of backpackers get here, stay in hostels, and then look for accommodation like that, because then they can view it in person. I recommend that a lot, or at least like book if you're not into hostels, an apartment, Airbnb, something. Because I really regret getting my accommodation beforehand, and I'll tell you why. So I found there's also, let me retract. Ways that you can find accommodation is group chats, Facebook group chats. Facebook group chats with my best friend. So for Gold Coast, I was like, Gold Coast, what was the search bar actually? It was, the group chats were like private rentals in Gold Coast, and then people would put up either an apartment or rooms. Majority of the time it is spare rooms. There was other places called Flatmates, that's another one, and Flatshare, I think. I've never really used that, I don't really know how to use it, but the most popular one is Flatmates. Okay, so this is another thing. Me and my sister were going together, so our idea was to be in the same house, obviously different rooms, so we could still be with each other, because we didn't want to be apart as we've never been here, and we were here together, you know. So I found this place with 2 bedrooms, really cheap. Well, I personally think it's cheap. It was $250 a week for rent, and including everything. And it was a really nice house. It was really lovely. But she did show me the location. If you guys know the Gold Coast, it's in Coomera. Yeah. And I didn't have a car. So Coomera is literally like, this is like, okay, this is the strip of Gold Coast where the beach is, everything is. Coomera is like up here. And it's actually not bad if you have a car. The thing is, I don't have a car. Anyway, she was convincing me that, oh, it's not that far, like you're actually really close to the Gold Coast. And at the time I was just like, cool, perfect. I was just like a bit worried that we wasn't going to be able to find a place. I just kind of like jumped on the wagon and just like agreed to everything. It was the first month we got there, because basically we landed in Sydney for a couple days, and then we flew over to the Gold Coast, and then we went straight to there, and we just felt so excluded from everything. If I would have done the original plan of getting an Airbnb or staying in a hostel for a couple of weeks, I would never ever have thought of moving to Coomera, like ever. It's just such a secluded place. Like people, we've moved 3 times in the last 4 months, like ridiculous. But we had, like, anyone we tell, they're like, oh, why would you move there? And we're like, because we don't know. We're like, there's not even an explanation for it. Anyway, so because from there, we did move a bit closer. There's a place called Narang. I don't know if you guys know, but if you do, like, so it wasn't that far off. And we moved because we had the opportunity to. So the place that we got offered, but we wasn't even looking. This place kind of just, someone offered it because they were looking for people, and they were like, and they knew us. The owner knew us. They were like, would you like to move in? And we were like, yes, because we were also 25-minute walk from the train station. We're in our first house, so it was just long. Whereas the second place, the train station and bus station was literally like a 5-minute walk. Like it was right there. And then to go to the beach, I could just get one bus to Broad Beach, and it was literally like 18 minutes. So it was a lot closer. Whereas if I was in Coomera, whereas the first house when we were in Coomera, we had to get the train and then get a tram. Like, that is, like, it took an hour and a half. You know what I mean? So, like, someone that's, like, so excited for moving next to the beach to move so far away from the beach. And then, basically, the place that we were at, we decided, like, it's coming into summer now, we wanted to move closer to the beach. So now, we're in our third place, but this is the first time me and my sister aren't living together. We literally live 2 minutes from each other, so it was we found something really good. And by far my favourite house, love this house, so close to the beach, literally a 10-minute walk from the beach. I just love it here. So yeah, that's my experience of what has happened with moving so many times. Like, if you were to move here, I just recommend just waiting until you get here. Let's move on to jobs. So people ask me what I do, like how did I get my job? Because at first it was really hard for me to get a job. It took literally a month for me to get a job. I think the reason that it was hard for me to get a job is because of the area that I was in. It wasn't as busy. Like I said, it was like a small town, quite far. Like it was legit a suburb. So I think that was the reason it was harder for me to get a job. But I do actually remember someone saying to me in Sydney that it was hard to get a job in Sydney for him as well, because there isn't actually hard to get a job in the Gold Coast because there wasn't much jobs. I think it depends on what you want to do. If it's hospitality, there's always jobs. Legit, there's always jobs. There's actually agencies that you can even apply for. But I would say Brisbane, there are more jobs in Brisbane if you want to go. But Brisbane don't have any beaches. The closest beach to Brisbane is like Sunshine Coast or Gold Coast. It just depends on like what you want to do as a job. But hospitality, it really doesn't, like it will be quite easy. But if you do want to work as a bartender or any place in a hospitality environment, i.e. a restaurant, a bar, coffee shop, anything like that, that sells alcohol, you cannot work without an RSA. An RSA, it stands for, I don't remember, but here we are. It's just like a safety thing for every business. And they can't actually hire you if you don't have it. So I think when I was applying, I didn't even know about this. So when I was applying and this was happening, I think one of them told us about it. Like one company only told us, they're like, do you have your RSA? And I was like, don't know what that is. So I then got it just in case. I ended up not needing it anyway, and I still don't need it, but you never know, might get another job and I might need it. So it's just always good to have that if you are working in the hospitality era. I've kind of finished, guys, by the way. I'm talking so much and I'm going to the beach. Literally just wearing my shorts, bikini. Yeah, okay. But people also do ask me what I did for a job. I was a barista in a coffee shop when I did live in Naran, but because I moved, I can obviously say it was too far. I do actually work now as a receptionist / dental assistant. I do not have any dental experience. I was very, very lucky in getting that job, but my main job is a receptionist, so yeah, it's not that hard. So now, friends. I'm like doing this category, I'm like trying to follow my plan that I literally wrote down so I just don't forget everything that I'm saying. But friends, so in the first video I did for TikTok, I said it's actually a lot harder to make friends than you thought. So when I first initially moved to Australia, every TikTok was like, you're gonna make so much friends. Where? Like actually where? Again, it might have been the location I was in, but like we still travelled. I think after posting that, okay, the reason we say that was because we didn't have a job. And when we did get a job, we didn't make any friends because it was a really small team, the team that the coffee shop that I was working in. So didn't really make any, like I made work friends, but not like going out friends, do you know what I mean? And then we did start doing dance, but if I'm being honest, in my experience, it's hard to make friends, Australian friends, only because they're so nice to your face and they are the loveliest people. But that's it. It don't go further than that, you know. Like if you try to go further, it don't go anywhere. They stick to the friends they know from high school, and then probably their friends or friends. That's literally the majority of people's friendship groups. I'm not obviously saying that for every Australian, because I've literally met a couple of Australians and they're the nicest people ever and they're more open. But majority of the Australians I have met, they just are just nice to your face. It doesn't really go further. So that was another reason it was harder for me and We're Gonna to make friends. Because we even went to we started dance and we loved it. but everyone was quite clicked onto their friendship group, and it was kind of like, I don't know, like it was hard. But to make friends, social media, legit social media. Say that because when I posted that video, I didn't actually think, so I posted a video, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I posted a video, I wish I knew before moving to Australia. You can check it out, but my views on that has literally completely changed since being here for 4 months now. And one of them was, it's hard to make friends. From that video, there was quite a few people that saw it that had moved to the Gold Coast themselves, and they messaged me to meet up because they were also having the same issue. And it was so nice, like it was genuinely so nice, because I've never been the type to text someone on Insta or socials. I don't know, like it's never really crossed my mind. So when the girls did it, I was like, I'm literally, there's two girls that I've become so close to from literally Instagram because they messaged me, and then it just made me like, I was like, oh, like I wish I knew about, like I don't know why I didn't think of it before. So don't be nervous, don't be like, you think, oh, is this cringe, or, you know, like think it's like, don't, because they're probably thinking the same thing. Or even, it's just like nice to meet loads of new people, and you're not gonna meet new people if you don't put yourself out there. And I'm really grateful the girls did text me, because I would never have met them, you know what I mean? So I do think like the best way to meet people is that's if you haven't been in a hostel. A lot of people say, oh, in a hostel you meet loads of people. I agree, but we didn't. We literally didn't come here and stay in a hostel. We literally went to our accommodation that we had already like booked, like pre-booked, you know, all of that was already set up for us. So we didn't stay in a hostel, so we didn't make any friends. But yeah, that is another way of making friends. What's the plan now? What have I been up to? What do I think of Australia? Do I love it? Do I not? 50-50. If I'm being honest, 50-50. I don't know why, but everyone that has come here, 3 months in, they are in love with Australia. They're never going back. Legit. Like my closest friend that I literally live around the corner from her. She's never going back to the UK. She's like, nope, that's it for me. Like I'm here. Love that for her. I don't have the same buzz as everyone else is getting. Don't get me wrong, I do love Australia. I love the people. I love how sunny it is. I love the like culture of like everyone's a morning person. Like everyone's morning people. They go to by 6 a.m. when I go for a morning jog. Everyone's in the flipping beach having a swim. You know what I mean? Like you do not see that in the UK because it's, look at the weather for one. So I do love it, but I feel like, I don't know why, the first 4 months of being here, the first month was hard because I knew I wasn't going to go back for quite a while, so I was missing home, it was everything. But then it was like, me and my sister have like dealt with so many things come at us at once. It just so overwhelming, and we're like, ugh, why is this happening to us? Like, why? We haven't done anything. Like, what? Like, actually, why? But I am thankful for the things that have happened, like, so far, because I've learned a lot from the situations that I've been in. It's also put me in the place I am in today, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, but that makes sense at the same time. Yeah, if it wasn't for what happened like in Coomera, in Iran, I would never have been in this location, which I love now. I would never be in the job that I am in now. I would never be in, you know, the opportunities that I have now if it wasn't for the stuff that happened before. In the moment, it was very frustrating, but seeing the light of the tunnel now, I don't know if I would stay here. I think I'm definitely going to enjoy my full year here and live it up to the best and literally enjoy myself to the fullest. And I know I'm going to miss it when I go back, but I don't know if it's home, if that makes sense. I think it's just way too far from home. And I'm so grateful I've done it with my sister. Like, we're literally so close in age. I'm so glad that I'm doing everything with her and I have her there. Like, I'm not alone. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up now. I have been rambling for quite a while, but I hope that this informative video taught you a couple of things and you took some things home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below what you want to see next, share, and I'll see you guys in my next vlog or video.